Hello, beautiful people. Shauné here, and it's time for Heart Talk. For those of you who might be catching this for the first time, Heart Talk is all about keeping it real, honest, and transparent when it comes to being an entrepreneur. I started Heart Talk to share my perspective and have candid conversations about running a business and what really goes on behind the scenes, things that business owners aren't often willing to share. I've experienced many highs over the 6 years of being a full-time makeup artist, but there have been many lows as well. I have scored major wins and gigs, but I've experienced loss too. This journey has been wild and amazing, but it's also been very emotional and exhausting. It's been fun, exciting, and glamorous, but there have been times when I simply wanted to walk away. Heart Talk also focuses on purpose-driven, heart-centered entrepreneurship. So what does it mean to be a purpose-driven, heart-centered entrepreneur? Simply, you realize that your business isn't just about you, but it's about the people you're meant to help also. Yes, us entrepreneurs need to turn a profit to sustain, but being a business focused solely on making money isn't enough, at least not for me. I think successful entrepreneurs aren't just about the numbers and what's in it for them, but they're also servants. So this is what Heart Talk is about, and today I want to talk about self-care as an entrepreneur. I thought this topic was timely because it's been 1 year since I started on my road to fitness journey. 1 year, you guys. My health and wellness coach posted something in our Facebook group the other day, and it really resonated with me. She said, never make yourself so busy that you don't have time to feed yourself well or move your body. I'm gonna say that one more time. Never make yourself so busy that you don't have time to feed yourself well or move your body. And then she hashtag self-care first. So when I left my journalism career, quit my 9-to-5 in 2012 to do my makeup business full time, I did exactly the opposite of what that quote said. I made myself so busy that I didn't have time to feed myself well or move my body. You see, I wanted my business to be successful. I didn't want it to fail. My business was my bread and butter, and the only way I knew how to make it work was to stay booked by any means necessary. So that meant saying yes to every job and trading time for money, even when the money wasn't worth it. The hustle was real, you guys. It was a constant grind. It was feast or famine. I created a job for myself. The freedom, flexibility, and quality of life I had left my 9-to-5 for was non-existent. I thought I had my life and work all figured out. As a makeup artist, my business was booming. I was always booked. I was even turning away work so much to where I started a team of amazing artists to help me out. My clients loved me, I loved them. They loved referring people to me. I loved being an entrepreneur. But if I was really honest with myself, which at the time I wasn't, I was deeply unhappy, physically exhausted, and my body was literally breaking down. I had made myself so busy that I didn't have time to feed myself well or move my body. I heard Oprah say once, first you get the whisper, then the scream, then the break. So my whisper had been happening for quite some time. So like from the years from 2012 to 2015, where I was working so much, I was burnt out after only 3 years of doing my business full time. Or in 2014 and 2015, where I only had 2 weekends off the entire wedding season. The other whisper was the pain I started to experience in my lower back and knees from being on my feet all day doing makeup. Being overweight only added to that pain. But I kept ignoring the whispers. I kept stuffing my exhaustion with poor food choices and not exercising consistently. I kept pushing myself past my breaking point and booking gigs I knew I didn't have the energy for and showing up not fully present for my clients. Then came the screams, as in more screaming pain in my knees, my feet, and my lower back. I would need days to recover if I worked an entire weekend. I found myself taking ibuprofen and muscle relaxers a little too often just to manage the pain. My weight also kept climbing. I wasn't happy with how I looked because I knew that I was not my best self. I would show up for jobs with my makeup done and giving good face, but it was truly masking the way that I felt inside. So the brick finally came days before a celebrity booking and 2-day press tour. So I woke up with this pain in my right shoulder, and it felt as if I had slept on it wrong. So I'm thinking, okay, no big deal, pain will go away. But the pain got worse throughout the day, and I went from having some mobility in my shoulder to no mobility at all. I couldn't even raise my arm to do makeup. So I ended up in the emergency room, only to discover I had bursitis in my shoulder. So this major makeup gig was in 2 days, and I needed mobility back ASAP. So the fear of not being able to work was the brick that I needed. That was my wake-up call to take better care of myself, or I would not be able to sustain my business. When you're an entrepreneur, and especially as a makeup artist, you don't always have the luxury to call in sick, to call out at the last minute, to send someone else in your place. You're expected to be there, to show up. So I hadn't been taking care of myself. I hadn't been taking care of myself for a long time, and it was catching up to me. Self-care is so vital as an entrepreneur. And I don't mean laying up in a spa all day or getting pampered with facials or massages. Don't get me wrong, those are all nice and they feel great, but that wouldn't have done anything for me in my situation. Self-care is not just about one thing and feeling good for a minute, but it truly is about making changes that are sustainable, changes in your habits and your attitudes. True self-care, I think, should also tie into the vision and mission of your business. So I'm only able to fulfill the mission of my company and the vision of my clients if I'm happy, healthy, and well. So I read recently in a Forbes article that self-care starts with tiny habits. So to create a new habit, it has to be something small. You have to find the trigger, the right time in your schedule, and then you train the cycle. So 1 year ago, I started on what has become my road to fitness journey. The tiny habit I started was simply walking with a friend and doing a green smoothie cleanse. So when we started walking, I told myself, just get through the first mile and don't worry about what happens next. So 1 mile eventually became 2 miles, then 3, 4, 5, and 6 miles. And then walking a couple of days became 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days. Now I walk every day. What started as a tiny habit has truly become my lifestyle. And the green smoothie cleanse was the jumpstart I needed to start fueling my body with healthier choices. So this also led to me working with my health and wellness coach, Elizabeth Johnson, whose principles of mindful eating I absolutely love. So what is mindful eating? Well, when it comes to diets, I have tried them all. Believe me, I have. But I never felt nourished. I didn't enjoy the flavors of the food I was eating, and I always felt disappointed and deprived. Diets do not work. They don't work for me. Mindful eating does, and it is exactly what I had been trying to figure out my entire life. So what she taught me was the art of living and eating well with delicious whole foods. So I've never deprived myself of any food I wanted throughout this journey. But in becoming a more mindful eater, I made the conscious choice to eat healthier. So my journey and awareness about self-care as an entrepreneur has really been about giving myself permission to say yes to me and making myself a priority. It took something happening to me and the fear of not being able to do what I love to realize what's most important in life. I had prioritized my job, my work, my business as the most essential piece of my life. It had become my identity, and I lost myself. But the real priority is ourselves first, our family, our friends, people who support us and love us. So today, 1 year later, since starting my road to fitness, I am over 50 pounds lighter. I'm a whole lot healthier and with a clear, confident mind, body, and spirit that's fueled by self-care, personal passion, and a desire to support others who are ready to live their dreams. So people tell me I've had a total body transformation, and while that's true, what's more meaningful for me is the total life transformation I've experienced. Gone are the days of living on autopilot and settling for aching knees, back pain, and a messed up shoulder. But today I live in full alignment with my gifts, my greatness, and my desire to be that change agent for others who are ready to journey deep into the heart and soul of who they are, what they want, and who they desire to become. I am here to make an impact that only I can make. You are here to make an impact that only you can make. But we cannot make that impact if we're not taking care of ourselves first. As always, I welcome your thoughts, comments, and shares, and I would love to hear from you. How do you practice self-care, even if you're not an entrepreneur? At the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing a link because I would love for you to become a part of my Heart Talk newsletter family so we can keep the conversation going and also keep the support going. So thank you so much for watching, and remember, never make yourself so busy that you don't have time to feed yourself well or move your body. Self-care first. This is Heart Talk.